Before we start the video, I have a few disclaimers to make sure I don't get hung for my opinions on the game. Anyways, this is the first real game that Toby Fox ever made. It was a side project compared to the project that was Deltarune, and used a few of Deltarune's side characters to construct the plot of Undertale. It is based around the concept that it's an RPG where no one has to die, but more on that later, because I have to explain the actual game first. The art style is actually pretty good. The various zones throughout the game are interesting and great changes of pace for the overall story, even if each zone is only 45 minutes or so in length, if even that. The characters you encounter are simple in design, but will be easily burned into the mind of the players. However, the art truly shines in the battle sprites. They are so full of life and have a very different art style than the overworld one. The music in this game is amazing, even though it is mostly meme fuel nowadays. They have motifs in almost every one of the songs on the soundtrack, with only a few not having any. It covers a wide variety of different emotions and really showcases Toby Fox's musical talent. If you haven't played Undertale, or don't plan on playing it, you should really listen to the soundtrack. But on the other hand, why would you be watching this if you don't have an interest in Undertale? Is it because you wanted to leave a comment crapping all over it? You useless, Neanderthalic piece of human shit! Anyways, here's some epic tracks from the soundtrack if you want to give them a listen. Just like Deltarune, this game's plot is best enjoyed spoiler-free, but I will at least give you the basic premise. There is a war between humans and monsters. The monsters lost, and were sealed underground by a barrier that takes 7 human souls to break. There is a mountain that humans have traveled to for years, and every once in a while, a human falls through. They are usually killed by the monsters, and their souls are kept within jars by the Monster King. You're the 7th human child to fall down, meaning that your death would free the monsters. You attempt to escape the underground, and thus it begins. This game has some very simple gameplay mechanics that are constantly built upon as the game continues. An example of this would be the battle system. You have the fight option, which lets you attack enemies with no variation ever. You can act, which lets you interact with your enemies in ways that could lead to buffs, debuffs, the ability to spare, more on that later, and progression through boss fights. You have the item command, which basically lets you utilize healing items as well as some strange miscellaneous items. Finally, we have the mercy option, which lets you finish battles peacefully if you did the right things in the act menu. Remember that the mercy and fight commands are crucial, because they can actually affect the story in a major way later down the line. In a way like so major that it'll make you poop your pants and start screaming uncontrollably while bawling. When you get into an encounter and finish your turn, you will engage in a bullet hell style minigame unique to each monster in the game. If you're fighting more than one monster at once, it combines into a new and more powerful attack. I also don't know where to put this, so I'll just say it. The game has puzzles, and they're pretty easy. Sometimes.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Every night, I can feel my leg. My arm, even my fingers.
This game has 3 different route types. The neutral route, which is the default one, the pacifist route, where you spare every enemy and complete the hangouts with every single monster, and genocide, which requires you to grind monsters until the game tells you to stop. You can technically do these in any order, with the exception of the pacifist ending, which requires you to do the neutral one first. I do recommend you play in the order on screen, however, because if you do the genocide first, you're gonna have a very, very bad time with this game. Undertale is a very good Western RPG, made by a very small team of people. The game looks pleasant and sounds better than Elon Musk, god of Fortnite. The story is hilarious and sad at the same time, and the gameplay will keep you satisfied and entertained as long as you don't try to 100% complete the game. Overall, it's an amazing game. Want to know what else would be amazing? If you left a like, subscribed, and shared this video with fellow basement dwellers. It would also be nice if you joined my Discord and followed me on Twitter for memes and my thoughts on worthless topics. And with that, I hope you have a Merry Christmas. Goodbye!